factory builds one of the world's most famous cars.
The 911 is the icon of the sports car industry. It's the shape, it's the engine in the back, it's the feel it gives you, it's the emotion.
The factory runs like a precision machine, building hundreds of engines a day.
The
The product and our manufacturing process are one unit, and that's our secret of success.
Automation, technology, and skilled human labor combined to build 16 versions of the Porsche 911, including the 911 GT3.
Lots of our customers, they want a race car, and they want a race car that they can use on the normal street as well.
The Porsche 911 has been made for more than 4 decades on the same grounds in Stuttgart, Germany, at Porsche's Ultimate Factory. The Porsche 911, small, light, nimble, and always powered by a flat 6-cylinder engine in the back of the car. Automotive journalists say the 911 may offer the ideal connection between car and driver.
The 911 is like a glove that fits you perfectly. The car communicates very directly what it's doing, so it's a very emotional driving experience to have a 911 under you.
That emotional experience is tempered with practicality.
You can go to your groceries with the car, you can go shopping. You can use it during the week, going to work.
And if going to work involves commuting on parts of the Autobahn without a speed limit, all the better. There are 16 models of the 911. One of the newest 911s is the GT3. It's designed with one mission in mind.
The GT3 is a track tool. It's the ultimate track day weapon.
The GT3 is designed for the growing number of auto enthusiasts who race their cars on closed tracks. The thrill of owning your own street-legal race car will cost you $112,000. The GT3's 6-cylinder engine delivers 435 horsepower. It catapults the GT3 from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4 seconds. Taking it to a top speed of up to 194 miles per hour.
It feels more like a race car than a street-going car. Actually, it's a race car with a street-legal tag on it.
Since 1964, every 911 ever built has been made in Porsche's Ultimate Factory in Stuttgart, Germany. The factory consists of several industrial buildings that are linked together. The car's body shell gets its color in the paint shop. The 911's famous flat 6-cylinder engine is built in the engine assembly building. Leatherwork for the car's interior is handcrafted in the upholstery shop. Finally, all the pieces come together in the vehicle assembly building, with its 117 assembly stations. The factory builds all 16 models of the 911, plus 2 Porsche Boxster models on the same assembly line.
Every day we build approximately 40 Boxsters and about 110 Porsche 911s.
The 911's body begins in the body shell assembly building. Outside the body shop, stamped steel body panels are standing by. Inside, 105 robots, along with teams of skilled welders, fuse the car's frame together. The frame is made of 3 sub-assemblies: the front compartment, the mid-floor pan, and the rear compartment. Each sub-assembly is welded together from stamped steel parts. This welder spot welds the front compartment of the frame, while this welder works on the rear compartment. The front compartment is then sent off to be joined with the rear compartment. When the mid-floor pan is added, clamps hold the 3 pieces in place. Then the robot welds them together, making them one. A team of human welders places a shield between them to protect against sparks and glare. They reinforce the job, welding seams robots cannot reach. At this point, every 911 frame on the line is identical. But all that changes at the geometry station. Where the various model rear side panels are welded onto the vehicle. Here, the car becomes a hardtop or a convertible cabriolet. Since this car is destined to be a hardtop, robots ensure it gets a roof. When the welding is done, another group of robots attacks the frame. This time not to weld, but to pierce it. Hundreds of rivets and screw holes will allow technicians to attach components to the body later in the assembly process. Next, robots select doors and weld door hinges to the frame. Almost 5,000 welds later, the robotic work is done in the body shop. Now, workers place the metal body panels that gives the 911 its unmistakable front shape. It starts with the front quarter panels. And at the next station, the luggage compartment cover or hood. Now the body shell is complete. Even in this raw form, the body has the iconic shape of the classic Porsche 911. A shape that has been world famous for more than 40 years.
When the 911 was launched for the first time in 1964, the design was almost shocking, or you could say very much ahead of the time.
In that time, the Porsche 911 has seen evolution in its design. There may be no other car that has changed so little in appearance during the course of several decades. It may surprise some to learn that this high-end sports car's beginnings can be traced to another famous, but much more humble car. The origins of the Porsche 911's iconic shape and design can be sourced to a more modest vehicle, the Volkswagen Beetle, and the brilliance of a man named Ferdinand Porsche.
Ferdinand Porsche was very much ahead of his time. He was a technical genius.
Ferdinand Porsche was a self-taught automotive designer and engineer. In 1900, at the age of 25, he designed the world's first hybrid gasoline-electric car for an Austrian company. He also spent more than a decade designing cars for Mercedes. By the 1930s, Ferdinand Porsche had formed his own company designing cars for other manufacturers. He sold the German government on his dream of a small, simple car that would be affordable to the masses. That car eventually became the Volkswagen Beetle. After World War II, Ferdinand Porsche's son, Ferry Porsche, took control of the company. Ferry Porsche wanted a sports car, not for the general public, but for his own driving pleasure. A post-war shortage of parts forced Ferry Porsche to use components from the Volkswagen Beetle. The rear-mounted air-cooled four-cylinder engine, the gearbox, and the suspension.
Ferry Porsche modified everything to make it more sporty.
The car that emerged in 1948 was the Porsche 356. More than 75,000 were made over the course of 15 years. It was the first sports car to bear the Porsche name. In the late 1950s, Ferry Porsche wanted a new sports car. This time, he insisted on a more powerful six-cylinder engine. For the new car's physical design, Ferry Porsche turned to his oldest son, known as Bootsy Porsche.
He realized a perfect successor of the Porsche 356 because he used the classic design line of the car, but he moved it in a very forward way.
The result was presented in 1963 and eventually was called the 911. Over the course of 4 decades, the design was updated just 5 times, resulting in 6 generations of 911s.
I think the design carries on because Porsche always understood very well what you have to do to bring the 911 design language into the future.
Now, the unpainted body shells descended from the first 911s built in 1964 are ready to leave the body shop to be painted. The trouble is, the body shop and the paint shop have a 4-lane road separating them. So how does the body shell move from the body shop to the paint shop? A bridge.